Hey guys, I had a buddy over recently that I used to train martial arts with way back when, and we impromptu just kind of shot a video going through the white, orange, yellow belt one step so we could show those with a friend. It's sort of unplanned, so I'm going to jump in the middle just to add some context to some of the different movements. But here we go. So middle stance, inner forearm block, opening up, front stance, reverse punch, stepping back. Number 2, front stance, high block. Number 1, front kick, lunge punch, reverse punch, stepping back. And number 3, my favorite, stepping off angle, side kick, knife hand strike back. So that's just the white belt one-step movements. What we're going to do now is we're going to run them through, just kind of looking where we can add in some other strikes or improve upon those strikes to make them a little bit more practical. So practically, a couple ways we can think about these. Number one is just about what? Just about opening our hips, right? I would never, go ahead, punch, never try to actually block like this. But what I might do is, as Trotter is coming forward and developing, I might put a guard up, using that to come into a punch and coming out. Number 2, it's all about using front weapons. So I'm coming in here, but I could just as easily come in here, using this to hit to the face. I could get my front kick here, or I could go low, 2 punches, coming back. Number 3, the best way to avoid a punch is what? Just not be there in the first place. Side kick, I like to drive the side kick down to the knee, coming down with that knife hand strike. Could also go kidney. Anything on the back is a good target. Coming in, and I'm already primed. So previously I had talked about another way that you can use those white belt one steps is to break wrist grabs, right? So I'm going to show with Trotter how we can focus on the thumb using an appropriate block to do the escape. So Trotter comes in, he's grabbing my wrist. Number 1, he's got 4 fingers here, 1 thumb there. Middle block is going to get it out. Punch, getting away. If he reaches across to grab, same thing. I've got the 4 fingers here. High block, I can come up right there. Front kick, I got a great target. 2 punches. Get away. Two-handed grab. He's dumb enough to grab me with both hands. Whap! But can't go here. Can't go here. I'm going to reach through over the top. Side kick. Follow up with that knife hand. And coming out. And that's just all right, so now we'll move into the orange belt. We'll just start with looking at them just as they were written for the Sangwell Taekwondo organization. So number 1, falling back, stepping forward, inner forearm block, reverse punch, stepping out, Number 2, stepping in, back stance, crossing forearm block, back fist, round kick, stepping back, Number 3, double inner forearm block, Coming in, number 4, front kick, reverse punch, stepping out. All right, so same thing. We'll take a look at changing those movements from the very traditional movements into something that makes a little bit more sense for self-defense here. So doing these a little bit more practically. Number 1 is great. As his punch develops, I'm going to meet him inside, and I'm going to get that punch. I can go long at the wrist. I could go heavy, getting close. Depends on what kind of technique I want to do. Number 2, coming in across, you can just bring that out of the way, boom. If he came in on the other side, lefty, right, he's coming in, this is your basic trapping motion, right? So I'd be coming in, I'd be pushing in, getting another hand on, boom. But it works just as easily on the inside, stepping in, coming in, keeping that hand on. One more time on that, I should actually get that round kick in there too, so boom, boom. Good target here. If I'm feeling more flexible, I could go up top. I'm not, but I could also do it as a foot sweep down low. Number 3, as he develops, I'm coming straight in. Okay, I've got my shield up. Right here, I've got these close targets, but that number 4, I like to think of it as a knee here, or we could do as a front kick up here. So for self-defense on these orange belt moves, they're built off of this position right here. The I'm gonna grab you by the collar and hit you position. Gotcha grab. If he's gonna give me that hand here, there's a couple ways I can do it. Number 1, I could just clear it, or I could bring it in. Number 2, I could work it as a peel. So I'm coming across, I could get this with a strike at the same time, grabbing the wrist, turning my body over. Now I've got the kick, I've got the break, I've got the tickle, and the getaway. Number 3, he's got that in. I'm gonna bring both hands to the party. We can do a couple, I'm gonna bring both hands to the party. So he's got this one up here. I can keep the arm, collapse him in, use this as a strike, or I could bring it to the other side at the same time. So very similar movement as the first one, but instead of doing 1 and 2, I'm doing 1 or 1. Coming out, finishing with the kick there. All right, and we're gonna work on yellow belt now. One of the things I like working with Mr. Trotter is he's a little bit larger than me. You know, we're similar in height, so this is showing that you can apply techniques against, you know, someone that is bigger than you. When it's the other way, you know, showing that a small guy can get beat up by a larger guy, that doesn't, you know, that's not what we're trying to do. We want to show that a small guy can employ martial arts techniques to neutralize a height disparity and have a better chance. Of course, number 1, get away. That should always be your goal. Anyway, yellow belt number 1. Double knife hand inner forearm block. Coming in, fingertip strike, spear hand, thank you. Skip front kick, reverse vertical punch, stepping out. Number 2, he's coming in, I'm gonna step out across, knife hand outer forearm block, horizontal spear hand, round kick, back fist, coming out. Number 3, let's see if that leg will get up here. Stepping back, inner forearm block, gonna knock that away, spinning back fist. So one of the things I really like about yellow belt is when we talk about playing these practically, it really works out that we can use like ice strikes or groin slaps or slaps to the throat, you know, these different movements that really, I think, work very well for martial arts here. So let's take a look at those. Coming in, that double knife hand outer forearm block is very good. I got my hands up, I'm jamming them up here. I really like that eye strike. I also like that crotch slap, but we can come in here, boom, we got that eye strike. Now I'm gonna skip out, front kick to the groin, finish with that reverse vertical punch anywhere we want it. Getting out. Number 2, it's like white belt number 1 with a little pizzazz. Passing the arm, coming out. Horizontal spear hand doesn't make a lot of sense, but what I could do is I could get a collar grab back here, and now I got that kick right here, reap, bring him back to the ground is very nice. Another thing that we can do with that is since we are opening him up, we're coming right in with that front, that round kick. We could also go low to the knee. We could also sweep it the other way, drive him down that way. Number 3, the spinning back fist. We don't want to let this develop. We want to spin as it comes forward. So if I come in here, he's got a weapon there, right? Bad. So I want to come in the other way. Comes in, I'm spinning, bam. Got that elbow right up to the back of the head. Now, so yellow belt, really you can apply these off of that same collar grab, you know, punch motion. But the way that that we were taught these is you know, movements against the choke. Now, this is not probably something that's going to be happening. And anytime someone grabs you with both of their hands, leaving your hands exposed, you have a lot of options. But we'll take a look at a couple different ways to either just work with that grab, clear the grab with our hands, or just by the force of our. He gets in, he's grabbing me, I'm gonna take both hands up, tickle monster. Knife, same thing, up here, down there, I'm inside. If I get in here, I can go overs, knee to the groin. Okay. Number 2, we're gonna use it as he comes in, front choke. Get punched in the face, big Chinese arm movement. Boom, and then we're in that same place. We can do whatever we want to bring him down. Third one, I don't love this, but it's the same thing without the spin. This really works only if he's moving me back. I quickly come in here, change facing. It works too if we're posted, if we're off a wall. If he's got his weight driving me back and I can get my weight out, I can spin out. So there you have it, some one-step techniques with practical applications and self-defense movements from traditional Singwall Taekwondo organization Taekwondo, demonstrated with my good friend and first-degree black belt, Mr. Robert Trotter. I'd like to thank him for helping me out with this video. He has promised to come back in like 6 months when I work my way up to green, purple, and blue, and we'll take a look at some of those movements. Those are 2 steps where the person comes in and they would throw 2 punches. So usually you're employing some kind of blocking combo and then following up with some attacks there. What I like about 2 steps is this is the time in traditional Taekwondo green belt level is where people start sparring. So they're more, instead of these like long kind of series of moves, it's just like, oh, here's a way to block, here's a way to get out of the way and counter. So I think they can be really fed to be practical for sparring applications. So we'll take a look at that. These first ones, these 1 steps, are really off of the either grabs or very exaggerated movements like that from an attacker, where really you can take your pick. There's a lot of things that you can do if you see it coming. Whereas the green belt ones, it's kind of if someone's like actually working good technique, like how would you deal with that? Well, you don't block a jab, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can deal with it, but trying to block it, not one of them. So we'll take a look when we get to green belt at some different things that we can do off of those movements. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next year.